Well, here we are at the AviaDev conference in Cape Town, the fourth of the series of terrific platforms that really, I think, gets both the African and the international players together in the same room to address, talk about, and wrestle with some of the real live issues that face our industry, not only the leisure tourism industry, but certainly the MICE industry, the meetings, the incentives, the conventions, events and exhibitions space that I think really makes such a huge economic impact, particularly to emerging destinations. I've always maintained that it's far more cost effective to get 1,000 delegates to any destination on a conference on a given subject vis-a-vis leisure. And I get very, very passionate about tourism boards who spend, I think, too much money that perhaps not measured sufficiently. There aren't enough economic impact calculators. They go into the leisure funnel vis-a-vis the MICE funnel. So when it comes to return on investment, you can really illustrate and demonstrate the value. Coming back to this particular meeting, I did a quick thumbs suck in terms of economic impact. And let's make an assumption that there are in excess of 200 delegates here in Cape Town at AviaDev 2019. Through ICA, which is the International Conference and Congress Association, the benchmark is there that each international delegate is spending on average $356 per person per day. And that's a 360-degree investment into a given destination. On average, once again, they are here for 4 days. And so this event, AviaDev is contributing $386,000 to the economy over the next 4 days. And part and parcel of that multiplier effect is the fact that 17% of delegates generally, depending on the pre and post marketing of the conference per se, bring a significant other, and often they go on and do pre and post tours. So a hard-working economic propeller for any destination, and particularly tourism in this particular case. So obviously, when any tourism board or any consultant is marketing a destination, image is paramount. And I think I said on the stage that everything communicates. Whether you are the president of a country or a company, whether you are the minister of tourism, whatever, everything that is said out there in the marketplace communicates a message about your destination, your country, your continent. And this is something I always urge when we do a lot of professional development, we do a lot of coaching, we do a lot of mentoring, and this is so important. We all understand politics, and different times of the year, politics is hot or sometimes it's cold, but it's unbelievable how that image via your CNNs or your BBCs, whatever, gets out in the marketplace. And I maintain that there isn't enough PR budget or dollar to dilute a lot of that messaging that is sort of spewed, if you will, into the world, because ultimately we are very much a global village. The other component of certainly the MICE propeller, if you will, is that it's such as you said a little earlier, we can get 1,000 delegates to a destination way in advance vis-a-vis 1,000 leisure delegates. So any industry that can attract that kind of buying power is huge. It's huge. And as Africa starts to rise and soar, I think a lot of governments, is a trend we've been following, is the governments are starting to appreciate the economic impact and value of a convention bureau. My point has always been, though, how do we get that fundamental, that economic fundamental understood? And often, once the higher levels in any government, when that light comes on, then it works, and the dollars, the foreign direct investment certainly pours into the country. And with that comes airlines, comes airports, becomes hotels. The entire value chain are winners. The other lower hanging fruit, I think, from an African perspective, is just the airport experience. Too often, we do a lot of work obviously in Africa, we talk about Kenya, we talk about Ethiopia, we're talking about Togo, we talk about Tanzania, and of course South Africa. But you arrive at an airport and it's like, it's a lousy experience. And that cannot be difficult to remedy and put right. Hey, there's my passport, you know who I am, welcome Mr. Taylor, welcome sir, you're welcome to my destination, you're here for business, that's fantastic. Have a great time. I see you here for 5 days, you're here for a week. Enjoy. Become part and parcel of the sales team, making that experience experiential and becoming customer-centric. That's what it's all about.